الله نحمده ونستعين به ونستهديه ونسترشده ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين حبيب رب العالمين سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعلنا معهم واجمعنا بهم يوم القيامة في عليين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. In the name of Allah Azza wa Jal, the most precious, the most merciful, we start the khutbah. The khutbah today is about lessons that we learn from Alhijrah, from the migration of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A few days ago, we have celebrated by doing siyam, by doing qira'at al-Quran, by doing more i'tikaf and salah, the memory of that great journey, the journey of khutbah, of Hijrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina. Now we need to, before we go to the lessons, we need to understand one thing and teach it to our children and our spouse and our relatives and our friends. This thing is that the Hijrah, the Seerah, the Sahaba, the Muhajirin and Ansar, when we tell their stories and when we remember their actions, it's not for having some good or pleasure time only. It's not for remembering history. It is because it is a source of Sharia. Our Sharia, our deen, our method of life have different level of sources. Of course, we all know that number one source is Kitabullah Azza wa Jal, the Quran. Number two is the Hadith, the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Sahaba, and the Tabi'een, and the Qiyas, and the Ijtihad. So we need to look at the Seerah in a different angle as a source of Islamic knowledge, and we need to learn how to apply the orders of the Quran and the Sunnah in our lives by following the steps of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the lessons of the Hijrah are endless. I chose today three. Number one, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was supported by Allah Azza wa Jal all his life. Yet Allah Azza wa Jal want Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to go through the same experience that each and every one of us go through, which is having hardship, then taking al-akhd bil-asbab, doing what it takes, taking the real measures, and then feeling the victory and the taste of success. And that has a lot of pain before it. So if you learn the Hijrah, how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam moved from Mecca to Medina, you will see a lot of tactics, a lot of strategic planning that all of us Muslims we need to learn and we need to apply on our daily lives. Yes, Allah could have made him close the eye, open his eyes, and he find himself in Medina. But he had to go through putting his cousin, his beloved cousin, whom he raised by himself, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, wa karram Allah wajhahu, to put him in his place. And he left at night. And he went through a different road, so a different direction, not to Medina, the other way. So if they track his footsteps, they will get lost. And to hide in the cave. And to find a companion that he trusts. So a companion we should look for is someone we can trust in his iman, his taqwa. And he hired someone who's not a Muslim. But he was excellent in his job, knowing the path and the road between mountains and valleys, and where are the dangers and what can be, where can you walk and how can you reach. A tracker of desert, and many others. So the first lesson we take today, brothers, from Al-Hijrah Nabawi Sharifah, you do your best and Allah Azza wa Jal will guide you to the rest, inshaAllah. Do not just sit at home and do dua and do nothing. You start with dua and then you finish with doing your best. This is a very good lesson we need to teach it to ourselves and to our children. The second lesson is the importance of the masjid. When Muhammad ﷺ arrived to Medina, before he rested, before he ate, before he made a big gathering and everybody is welcoming him, before he even recognized those people who have received him and those people who have migrated with him, Muhammad ﷺ, the first thing he did before his foot stepped on earth, on the ground, was to locate the masjid. This tells you the importance of the masjid in Islam. It's the best grounds. أفضل الأماكن عند الله عز وجل المساجد. The best of places in the eyes of Allah عز وجل are the masajid. In masajid, it's not just to pray, yet prayer is the top priority. It is the center of our lives. It is where we all gather together and become stronger. So that's the second lesson today we keep in mind and bring this attention to your children, is the masjid. You cannot live a day or two or maximum a week without coming to the masjid. If you are blessed enough to live near a masjid, at least 1 or 2 jama'ah salah need to be performed in the masjid. And don't just leave fast. Greet your community members. Look for someone who needs help. Donate generously to your masjid. Get to know each other. I personally, since I served, alhamdulillah, with the word of Allah, with the brothers in Dar Foundation, I found out that some brothers are looking for a job, and some brothers who have been praying beside one another, looking for someone to work for them, for an employee. So an employer praying beside an employee, and they do not talk, so nobody knows the need of the others. We should be now more proactive. And Assalamu alaikum, my name is Ahmed. I work in pharmaceutical company. What's your name, brother? Oh, my name is Adil. I work in this and that, car dealership. Oh, subhanallah, I was going to buy a car. And here, benefit one another, strengthen your community. That's what made Muhammad ﷺ migrate, because the community in Medina was ready to receive him, receive the revelation and support him. And they became brothers. أخا بين المهاجرين والأنصار. Then these are the first things that he have done, establishing the masjid and establishing a strong community that the needs of each other will fulfill by each other as well. The third lesson of today, and it's very, very important lesson, is Al-Ansar. Al-Ansar, those mu'mins, those Muslims who have just embraced Islam. Most of them did not see Muhammad ﷺ yet. But they made an oath between them and Allah Azza wa Jal that they will give everything they have fi sabilillah. And they will be the best receivers of Muhammad ﷺ. And Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, praising them and showing their importance, this great ayah in Surah Al-Anfal, ayah 72, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذين آووا ونصروا أولئك بعضهم أولياء بعض. Subhanallah. So they've been mentioned. وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَنَصَرُوا. Those who have received and protected and helped and became victorious. Even then their name comes from victory. When you support one another, you become victorious. From Nasr. And Muhammad ﷺ, when he distributed all the wealth after Fath Makkah, and after Hunayn, he gave all the people that Hunayn happened after Fath Makkah. So there was a great amount of wealth was collected after the war. He gave most of that wealth to the people of Mecca. And the people of Medina, Al-Ansar, was waiting when we will get our share. And then they found almost nothing or very little. So he have read in their eyes that they're sad. And then he said a long khutbah, but in short he said that I have heard that some of you are complaining or have doubt on why I have distributed the wealth. Do you agree that everybody will leave this place with the dirham and dinar and horse and camel and money, and you leave back home with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? They said, oh Allah, we agree, we support. Radina ya Rasulullah. What kind of people Al-Ansar, whom in few years they became so victorious and the dunya became so small in their eyes. It is because they have seen the benefit of Islam in their life and how it transformed them from one person to another. And that much that Allah, Muhammad ﷺ have made that day dua for them, that we still know until now. In the hadith sahih, he said, Allahumma ighfir lil ansar, wa li abna'i al ansar, wa li abna'i abna'i al ansar. Subhanallah. You take one step towards Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah will shower you with bounties and rewards. They just agreed not to take money of that day, and the blessings showered them, not only them, and their children, and the children of their children. And we all know dua al-anbiya mustajab. Muhammad ﷺ, when he make a dua, it is surely guaranteed mustajab. When Allah grant them ighfir, that means all their bad deeds is being forgiven. Not only for one generation, 3 generations. So when you become Al-Ansar, this is what you get, inshallah. And another last hadith for my first part of the khutbah. It is a beautiful hadith that says, Ayatul Imani Hubbul Ansar, wa Ayatul Nifaqi Bughdul Ansar. More and more gifts. The ayah, the sign of your Iman. One of the main signs, that this is the sign of your Iman, is Hubbul Ansar, your love to the Ansar, to the people of Medina who have received Muhammad ﷺ and the Sahaba. And the sign of Nifaq, hypocrisy, Munafiq, is Bughdul Ansar, is hating Al-Ansar, talking about the Sahaba bad. Judging the Sahaba while now they are with in Allah's hands and mercy, and some of us talk about this Sahabi and that Sahabi, why he did this, why he said that. We need to stay away from this. If there is any khilaf or there is any dispute that happened their time is gone. It's your time to do what they did. We do not judge them. Allah judges all of us. So a lot of lessons that we can learn from Al-Hijrah. And we need to apply them, because the seerah is not just to be told and remembered as a history, part of history. It is part of our sharia. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه يا فوز المستغفرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. آمين. So we've learned that Al-Hijrah have so many lessons. But let us finish with 2 lessons that are related to the 3 lessons we've just shared. One is, do we have hijrah nowadays? The answer is yes. We have physical hijrah and spiritual hijrah. The physical hijrah in any place in the world, even if you are in a country where the majority are Muslims or there are holy masajid, in any place you live in the world, if you are challenged with your deen, if your children could leave deen or become non-practicing Muslims, if you have been oppressed in your deen, in your life, in your food, in your property, you need to make a hijrah fi sabilillah to another place where you can safely worship Allah Azza wa Jal and apply the Sharia in your life. So that hijrah is a physical hijrah. And some of us maybe came to this country because of that. Maybe some of us came from their homelands where they are not able to practice Islam properly. And we have a lot of examples. And even here, if in any time you are challenged with your deen, don't say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, I'm here, what can I do? My children, when they grow up, inshallah, they will know their deen better. Now some of them, we receive complaints that brothers and sisters come to us and share that their own teenagers have left deen. The hijabi left hijab. They become atheists. They become, they're confused. they're still considering, astaghfirullah al-azim, what deen they will follow. If that is the case, most ulama said, move to another place. If that other place will help you with the ulama, with the support available, that will help you save your children. We come here, we say we come here for our children. Let us be truthful. Are we here for our children? Or are we here to feed them their body and physical being by buying the brands and driving cars and living in big houses, forgetting the food of the soul, the food of the ruh, the food of the brain, the food for akhirah? Our bodies, if we feed how much you feed, they will all end up down from dust to dust, buried and eaten by worms. But the soul never dies. So nourish the soul goes up to the heavens, either in Na'im or Jahim. So we hope we go to Na'im, Jannah, not Nar. So the soul, you have to nourish it. So make a hijrah from wrong to right, from bad to good, from dalal ila falah. The second last lesson in the 2 minutes coming, be always like Al-Ansar. Be always like Al-Ansar. When you receive a guest in your house, he is Muhajir and you are Ansar. Treat him with the best way possible. When you see a alim or sheikh saying something good, allow your soul and your body to sit in the masjid and listen, so your soul will migrate from batil to haqq, will understand the deen. When, like today, we have a masjid that is coming to collect funds to their masjid, a new masjid in Milton, where the Muslims community, mashallah, is growing really big, and they only have one big masjid and one small musalla in a city like Milton. So another masjid named Khadija came to seeking help to collect some money to finish their dues. They're only 2 months old in Milton. So they are like al-Muhajirin. We are like al-Ansar. So we go out and support your masjid for sure, keep supporting it, and support the other masjid as well, and Allah will support you all your life as He always have been. So be the best of Ansar today, represent Oakville Muslims, Dar Foundation members, and help the Masjid Khadija with the best way you can outside, and wherever you can distribute khair, do it. Hijrah, the migration of Muhammad ﷺ is an ongoing lesson to our life. Live it, learn it, teach it, practice it. May Allah bless you and accept from you. Allahumma ighfir lana warhamna, wahdina wahdi bina. Allahumma arhamna fawqa al-ardi wa tahta al-ardi wa yawma al-ardi alayk. Allahumma la taqbidna illa wa anta radin anna. Allahumma ij'al akhira a'malina ahsanaha. Allahumma taqabbalna 'indaka fi 'illiyin. اللهم احفظنا في هذه البلاد واحفظ أبناءنا وأبناء أبنائنا واحفظ بناتنا. اللهم زوج بناتنا وأولادنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم استر عوراتنا. اللهم ارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما وأقم الصلاة.